It's 7 o'clock. I remember the old TV commercial. It's 7 o'clock. Or is it 8 o'clock? Do you know where your children are? I know where a lot of people are right now. They're here. Oh, I had to think about this one today. I'm very tired. I got home very, very late because James and I stayed for the whole game yesterday. Good, bad, or indifferent, or stupid, we stayed for every last snap. And I sit here and I think, what's up, Omega Supreme? What's going on? What's going on? We got Richard in the house as well. What's going on, Richard? We got Indian Spice in the house as well. I want Caleb so badly. We got the Rover dropping in 1900. We got Indian Spice. It is 1 a.m. We got the War Zone, Mr. Keith, dropping by in as well. So I'm thinking about this. And I'm thinking about this yesterday as I'm watching another debacle. As I'm watching a second home loss that I've gone to. And yes, because I was at the Dallas game as well in the rain. And I got to fix the camera here. I was there in the rain as well. Luckily, last night was a beautiful night. So that was a good thing. Max on the beat says, thing is, the Bears are worse than us might be. I don't know if the Bears are worse than us yet. We're going to get to the Joe Rev said, Sam, what's going on? Bears would beat this team. I think the Bears might beat the Giants. I really do. You watch Daniel Jones. Now, don't get me wrong. You cannot sit there and say everything that happened last night was Daniel Jones's fault. Can't do that. You could want to, but you just can't because it's not 100% accurate. I bit my tongue. So I'm trying to be careful. It's not accurate. Yeah, I bit my tongue last night when I was yelling. But you watch him play, and you watch the fact that most NFL quarterbacks have a clock in their head. And they have this clock, and they know when the rush is coming, and they understand, okay, I have X amount of time to get the ball out. And they understand this. They get it. Daniel Jones's clock is broken. I think it's stuck on midnight. And people will say, well, he had no time to throw. No. There were a couple plays, that there was plenty of time to throw. We talk about the Wan'Dale Robinson play. He rolls out to the right. Rolls out to the left because we were on the home sideline. So Wan'Dale will be rolling out to the Jones will be rolling out to the left. Wan'Dale is sitting out there about 20 yards away. Yeah, there was a little bit of pressure, but he rolled out from the pressure, did what he was supposed to do. Wan'Dale is standing there by himself. Daniel Jones is staring directly at him. Does he throw the ball? No. Does he do anything else? No. He runs. He runs for like a 6-yard gain. And I'm thinking to myself, and we're all yelling, and I'm thinking to myself, how the hell do you not throw that pass? Now, this is before he was taking the massive beating. This is all before that. And you ponder to yourself, how does an NFL quarterback see this play, see a guy wide open, is staring directly at him, and doesn't throw the ball? We talk about the bad play in the end zone. Think about this, Road. The bad play in the end zone. Giants are down 14-3. 2 possessions in a row for Seattle. We stop them on 4th down. They miss the field goal. We get the 15-yard penalty on the Burrito 1-yard run. We move into scoring position. He's got Waller in the back of the end zone open. His guy, the big addition, the big kahuna. And what does he do? He throws it. He makes an ill-advised throw to the corner of the end zone, gets picked off by the rookie, taking 97 yards for a touchdown. You score there. It's 14-10. You have a game. You have a game again. You literally have a game again. But he throws the interception, takes it back all the way. He made this kid look like Every great corner in this league rolled up into one. Then there was the plays that Wan'Dale Robinson, Papa Smurf, as James so eloquently likes to call him, waving his arms, doing jumping jacks. Yo, motherfucker, I'm over here. Throw me the ball. Does he throw the ball? No. But it's the offensive line fault. Geno Smith was playing behind a line that was without both starting tackles. They lost both guards during the game. Their starting center shifted over to guard. So they were playing with technically 4 guys out and 1 guy out of position. Yeah, JMS went down. Great. You had some injuries. But Geno Smith still found a way. Drew Lock still found a way. You invested $160 million in this guy. You said you are worth $160 million. Yes, only 80 something of it's guaranteed. I have wrecked my cap for 2024. I have a $22 million dead cap number in 2025. There was nothing yesterday that I saw in Daniel Jones that filled me with any confidence. He had this, Dan Orlovsky, the former quarterback, was showing how Daniel Jones wasn't making simple pre-snap reads. He's making 0 line shifts or 0 line adjustments. This guy has been in the league for 5 years. 5 years. And he's still not making his own. And I love it because Dable came out and said, well, you know what? We have the center do it. So you're telling me you're having the center make all your pre-snap reads. Well, we've always had the center do it. Really? Ask Eli Manning. Eli Manning would take that 35-second clock down to 2 as he was making all of his adjustments. And again, Orlovsky showed that Daniel Jones is just not seeing what a 5th year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th year NFL quarterback should be seeing. You should see this. CJ Stroud, you have all these guys coming in are seeing this. And Daniel Jones's internal clock is going backwards. And we're supposed to go on Twitter and be nice. That's what set me off today. Saw a bunch of posts that basically said, and these are from Daniel Jones panty boys and girls, that just because you're right about Daniel Jones, you shouldn't be mean. These are the same people that told us to sit in the back of the bus. These are the same people. If we didn't have anything nice, we should just shut up. These are the same people that spilled all this garbage to us because of the fact that we're a cult and we don't understand football. And now the truth is starting to rear its ugly head again because this is not anything new. It's not anything new. We're told, well, be nice. Fuck you. That's the kinder, gentler Tim. How about you just be honest? How about you just get your head out of the sand and understand and look at what you're seeing on the field? And I love people like, well, I watched the game on television. Right, I watched the game there. And I've said this a million times. You cannot sit there and say what you see on television is not the whole picture. They will show you the sacks. They will show you this. They are not showing what's downfield. You hear, well, he had nobody open. That's a lie. He had no time. That's a lie. He got beaten up more at the end of the game than he did in the middle of the game. And the fact of the matter, this is, if you are not making the correct line reads, or you're not making the correct adjustments, hell, if you're not just checking out of a play, you had a rookie corner come out and say, We know he likes to go to his first read. You see that? How can you sit there and say anything else when you have a rookie corner coming out saying we know he likes to go to his first read? That's amazing to me, and the people are okay with that. It's like, and this is a rookie. Yeah, we know he likes to go to his first read. So we just kind of don't worry about anyone else on the field because we can diagnose what he is doing. And then you think, is it the simplicity of the offense? Are we looking at this because the offense has to be so simplistic because this kid is so smart? Oh, I got to play this from Witherspoon. Hold on. Can I play this? Hold on. We got to play this. Here we go. Let's play this from Witherspoon.
Jones, 11 times. What were you hearing and seeing out there from them while that was going on?
No, we were just trusting the game plan the coach laid out for us. We knew he liked to stare down his first target. So,
red stripe in mind.
Turn a lot of guys when they one-on-one matchups up front, man. Shout out to our D-line. Without them, we couldn't make the plays that we.
You got a rookie who came into this like now he's like the greatest player. Last night he won the rookie of the year. He won the defensive player of the year. Hell, he might have freaking won the MVP of the year. Saying we know he likes to go his first read. You have the 49ers coming out basically saying he's trash. Everyone else in this league sees it. We're just sitting there like, hey, Mr. McCormick, what's going on? Everyone else sees this. I sent you that clip. Yes, you did, Indian Spice. Everyone else sees this. But we're the only ones that are like, we can make this work. I will tell you this. Dable took a bad quarterback and made him okay. Didn't make him good. Didn't make him average. Made him okay. Made him serviceable. But when you don't get the bounces every week, when the ball doesn't go your way every week, and we said this before, it's not going to happen every week. It's not conceivable that you could do this every week like last year. And even last year, there's 4 games we probably should have lost. But now you've reached the point where the league is like, okay, this is what the Giants like to do because Daniel Jones can't do anything else. He is a running quarterback. Not even that. He's a quarterback who can run. He's not a running quarterback. We've talked about this. He's a quarterback who can run. The only problem is you had a lot of guys sit there and just hold their spot and play in their position and not give up their assignment and stop Daniel Jones from running. When you stop the running quarterback, a quarterback who can run from running, and he can't throw, it makes it a little bit more complicated to run the offense. You had people on ESPN's radio last night saying at 2:00 in the morning, saying that the Giants are all sizzle. They went out and got all flash. They went out, and they went and got Paris Campbell. They got Jalen Hyatt. They got Waller. They re-signed Slayton. They brought back Shepard. They got Isaiah. They're all flash. But the problem is when the flash, when you don't have a lighter to light the fuse to get to the flash, things go bad quickly. And I mean, it's quickly. You can blame the offensive line all you want. And the offensive line is bad. We talked about this before. Probably what's going to happen is you're going to fire Bobby Johnson. Probably going to fire a couple of the coaches. When that doesn't work, you're probably going to demote Kafka. When that doesn't work, they're going to probably look at getting rid of Dable. When that doesn't work, they're probably going to look at getting rid of Shane. Because that's just the way it works. First, we're going to blame the offensive line coach, then we're going to blame everything else. But the problem is you want to look at Patterson, the defensive line coach, and just say, hey, you know what? The defensive line is just as bad with much more talent. The problem is with the offensive line is you brought in the same guys from last year. This is a Judgian thing. Joe Judge did the same thing with Dave Gettleman. They overestimated their value of their talent on the offensive line. I don't care who your coach is. Ben Bredesen is not getting any better. Glowinski is not getting any better. None of these guys are they've been in the league long enough. They are what they are. You got Andrew Thomas out. You got Evan Neal, and Evan Neal can't handle the speed rush. You know this. Scouting reports from college told you he cannot handle the speed rush. And thank you for the sticker, Big Don. Big Don dropping in the big old super sticker. He can't handle the rush. the speed rush. You know it. Every scouting report says the same thing is going to get beat on the outside by speed rushers. You got two guys that were basically didn't play last year coming in as stars. You got Shane Lemieux, who's just god awful. You got Matt from Connecticut, who should stay in Connecticut. And then you are shocked when Bobby Johnson didn't turn this into a cohesive unit. Maybe it's the talent you brought in. Maybe it's the fact that your quarterback holds on to the ball way too long. He runs around the field. Doesn't see the field. And that's the other thing. It just boggles my mind. And I got 6 more games at home? This boggles my mind. He doesn't see the field. And he's looking. And you had that one pass when people were trying to read his lips. And Dave was like, well, it's a pass. He goes, well, I don't know. He basically, I don't know what to do. And then he throw. This is what really pisses me off about Daniel Jones. You want to know what really pisses me off? You want to know what really grinds my gears? You want to know what really sends me over the edge? He just throws the interception. Comes off the field, dejected, of course, with his head down. Dable is trying to talk to him. Dable's getting a little bit into his face. He doesn't even look at his head coach. Doesn't even look at him. And I said the biggest problem I had the biggest issue I had with Dave Jones is when I asked him that question at the symposium. And it wasn't a tough question. And I told him who I was. I didn't hide it. And then he's answering the question like this. You go back and watch the video. And I said, everyone says that is a nervous tick. That if something's going wrong, he's not good under pressure because of the fact that you could tell by his body language. His body language was he wouldn't even look at his head coach. Then he goes and sits down. Dable tries to talk to him again. Dable, I don't know what was said, but Dable gets so pissed, he basically throws the iPad. Not at Daniel Jones, but right next to Daniel Jones. Like, hey, motherfucker, look at this. Maybe you can figure it out. People will talk about, well, look at that fire he had in that Arizona win. Yeah. You know why Arizona won that game? If you want to be perfectly honest, Arizona stopped blitzing. They went into a prevent. They stopped blitzing. It is out now on the league how to get to Daniel Jones, what to do. And honestly, I've said this for 3 years now. Put the rush directly in Daniel Jones's face. Just put it there. Because he's going to fold like a cheap tent. And I think that internal clock of his is just running now, that even when there isn't pressure, even when he has a clean pocket, even when he has time, his first instinct is to run. His first instinct, yes, Mr. Yes, Mr. Yes. They stopped blitzing. Yes. And Gannon played the Tampa too. Yes, 100%. That's what happened in Arizona. But he just I put my John camera. He just stops processing, because I think at that point in time, he is just so now looking at the rush. He is David Carr. David Carr, when he was with the Texans, got beat so much that you look at him and he knew he was just afraid of the line. He was just afraid of what was going on. He's a deer. Daniel Jones is now a deer in headlights. He's watching the rush. And one of the worst things that you could ever do as a professional quarterback or any type of player is sense things that he's not seeing ghosts, but he is sensing things that is not there. He is sensing stuff that is not there. Could it be a lack of the running game? Of course. All the people said that we don't need Saquon Barkley. We don't need Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley sucks. We don't need to pay him. And I kept telling people over and over again, without that threat in the backfield, there is nothing else on this team to key on. Because if you get any pressure on the quarterback, he's going to fold. You get Waller covered in the middle of the field. Wan'Dale is going to get you the quick 5-yard out. That's it. That's it. That's all. And you can say whatever you want at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you don't have a quarterback. And I love the people. I love people like Cop and Idiot Vegas and Ron Effect and all these people that are all of a sudden are trying to turn the corner. They're trying to turn the corner now. At least, oh, yeah, well, maybe you didn't do this right, you didn't do this right. Yeah, but you are making fun of people like me and Rob and Pest and all these other people because the fact that we were just putting out Mike Too Nice, all these other, because we were just putting out information and we're putting out what was actually happening on the field instead of you living in fucking fantasy disco. And now you're in a situation where you are 1-3. You're probably going to be 1-5. If we lose 140-3 over the next 2 games, I would not be shocked. You also have the fact that you are -8 right now in your turnovers. We don't have any turnovers this season. Daniel Jones should have had 3 interceptions. Both interceptions were horrid. And you see the rest of the league understanding. It's not that difficult to key on the Giants when Saquon Barkley's not there. Matt Breida was no threat. Eric Gray, man. Eric Gray. I loved Eric Gray to death. I told you, I've met Eric Gray. Great kid. How many times did I say this preseason, oh my God, please don't let him return punts. Please don't let him return punts. Because he doesn't have the speed, and I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to catch the ball. And then he fumbles, and then you put a Dory Jackson back there? What happened to the coach of the year? Where'd he go? Should we do a Milli Vanilli? I was searching high. Oh, you got to do it. I was searching high, high, high. I was searching low, low, low. I'll talk about Dable. Where did he go? Where the hell did he go? Big Don says, Fist Vegas, Ben Real all day. Love you, Big Tim. I haven't seen Fist Vegas. I don't watch Fist Vegas. All I know is he talks shit about me. Talks shit about Rob. Talks shit about other people. You know, you got shit to say. Say it to me. Get on camera and say it to me. Tim@onlineBigBlue.com. I'll write it down for you, Fist, because you probably can't spell it. I'll come on your show. And then you could tell me all the nasty things you want to say to this. Oh, no, you don't, because you don't go on camera. What does Mike Glenn say? Big Mike, what's up? The Giants are something like 4-12 over the last 16 games minus the playoffs win versus the Vikings. Yeah, but, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that, Mike. What are you, crazy? We want to talk about how the fact that we beat the worst defense I've ever seen in the playoffs in Minnesota since 1976. We don't want to talk about how we got wrecked in Philadelphia. We don't want to talk about how the fact that we're technically 1-4 in the last 5 games. And if you go through that, 2-5-1? We don't want to talk about any of that. Because it's easier just to say, well, Daniel Jones isn't the problem. Daniel Jones isn't the issue. I'm sitting there at the games with James Williams, with Big L, with Irish Rover, with Dom, with OGR, sitting there every weekend that they play it on, watching these games. And like I said, you see more on the field than you'll ever see on television, that you will ever see. Did Ohio just drop a $5 super chat for the Daniel Jones buyout fund? I love it. We're going to take the Isaac Yiadom $1.98 we raised for the bus ticket, and we're going to tie it all together. So we're up to $5. We're up to $6.98 to get rid of Daniel Jones. I love you, Ohio. You make me laugh. And this is the other problem. You can't get rid of Daniel Jones. Colin Cowherd, who people hate, he was on the radio today or whatever he was on. Someone sent me the link. It was Dom sent me the link saying that the Giants probably in 2025 can trade Daniel Jones for a 3rd or a 5th round pick.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Why would any team trade him, take on the remainder of the contract, when they could probably get him for nothing because the Giants got to get rid of him? The Giants are good. This quarterback class coming up, And I, it's way early. It's way early. Look at this quarterback class. Way early. But I think there's at least 5 guys in this class that are going to go within, I would say, the top 15. Maybe even the top 10. Giants could be picking 1 through 6. And I think there's probably, if you look at the Bears, you look at Tampa, you look at Atlanta, they're going to be quarterback. They're going for a quarterback. The Bears. So the Giants could still get a chance to get a quality quarterback. Does Shane have the balls to pull a Josh Rosen and go out and get his Kyler Murray, which is a bad example because Kyler Murray's hurt. But does he have the balls to do that? Because he hooked his horse up. He hooked his cart up to this horse. And right now, someone should take this horse to the field and either shoot him or let him go. Let him go out in the range. I'd watch Yellowstone once in a while. Let him ride the range. We competed against ourselves and bid against ourselves to bring in Daniel Jones because we thought we were smarter than the rest of the league. We did so many videos during preseason. We talked about it so much, and most of the people in this chat were in the rooms when we did these live streams. We talk about the fact that there are so many things that were wrong, so many issues that were wrong with this team that the non-blind fan could see. That you had so many issues, and quarterback was definitely one of them. But you should understand the fact that if you don't fix the foundation of your house, which is your offensive line, and you have a skittish, and I'm going to be nice by calling him skittish quarterback, bad things are going to happen. He's Rick Meyer, the former Notre Dame quarterback who couldn't throw to his left, and the league figured that out in year 2. And he turned into a skittish quarterback who was a journeyman quarterback. I love when people compare him to Rex Grossman. Rex Grossman, of course, went to a Super Bowl, had that one big season with the Bears. But you know what? Rex Grossman was also a midget. I think he was Dom size. I think it was like 4'2". But you know what I can say about Rex Grossman? He hung in the pocket. He took a beating. Eli Manning took a beating, but kept coming back. Don't forget to James Williams, which remind me. They came back, and he came back repeatedly. But like I said, when you have a rookie corner coming out there and saying, we know what he is going to do. We know he likes to go to his first read. We know he's red striping man. We've said it before. There's something wrong here. And he's not, you know what's funny, Ohio, he's not even David Brown, because David Brown took a beating too. David Brown also took a beating, but he kept coming back. Daniel, you know what? I love my brother, James Williams. Love my brother. And I'm bringing this up because him and I have had this topic of conversation multitudes of times. And people are like, oh God, where the hell's Tim? Where the hell's the kinder, gentler Tim going with it? Where is he going with this one? And one of the things that James and I always talked about, and we always laughed about, we don't laugh about it, but we talk about this, is the fact that if Daniel Jones was a Geno Smith, if Daniel Jones was a Michael Vick, if Daniel Jones was a black quarterback, would we be sitting here still having him on this team in year 5? And I think it's a valid question. And I know it's a question a lot of people don't want to talk about. I know it's a question a lot of people don't want to bring up, but I think it's a valid question. You went out and paid this guy. You gave him his money. You gave him his bag. You did everything that you wanted to do and thought he had everything you wanted to have, but he still doesn't perform, but you continuously pay him. People will say, well, you gave Eli Manning. See, I got something. People say you gave Eli Manning that third contract, that third big contract. Yeah, he had already won 2 Super Bowls. Ebony and ivory come together with perfect harmony. Everyone knows James. We were hanging out. We had a great time. James and I had a great time at the game. Being there with James, I don't get to see, I talk to James a lot, but I don't get to see James as much as I should. And it was just nice to hang out with your brother and sit there for 3-4 hours. It was just awesome. And I greatly appreciate it. Because the point that people are pointing to right now is Daryl Smith says, see Justin Fields. Justin Fields had more rushing yards. Justin Fields had more touchdowns. Justin Fields had more total yards than Daniel Jones. But for some reason, he was on a bad team and he was a failure. Daniel Jones barely cracks 3,000 yards. Billy has 15 touchdowns, has 700 yards rushing, and he is the Messiah. It's just worrisome with this, guys. It's just worrisome. What is Mr. Jackson? Hey, Damian Jackson, what's going on, my brother? In 2019, I knew this was going to happen. I wanted to rant so bad, but I didn't know how much hate to get from these fans. It made me feel like I was crazy, and I went, though. You got to rant. You know what? You know what I learned a long time ago? Screw what everyone thinks. Do what you think. Say your piece. Say your mind. And you know what? It's a this is the 2000s, or the 2020s. This is a safe space. This is a safe space. Damn it, you can say whatever the hell you want here. I'm going to tell you, listen, the topics of conversation that James and I have in public, don't worry, it's a safe space. I need some water. I got home late. Late. And then I got up early, and I mean early. Swing Culture, what's up, brother? He says, Tim, Swing Culture's didn't go to the game with me. He went to draft night. Hey, Tim, please make the bleeding stop. You can't make the bleeding stop. The problem is the bleeding can only stop if you chop off the head. And the problem is you chop off the head, you're not going to live very long. Unless you're a chicken, then you run around for a couple minutes. I'm not going to test that theory. What can we do? Seriously, what can we do? First, I got to stay off Twitter. I went on Twitter today. I shouldn't have done that. And I love it because I occupy the minds, the space in so many people's minds. It just cracks me up. Hi, Kurt. Kurt goes and puts on Twitter, no one cares what this guy has to say. He just wants to hear himself talk. And I think to myself, I sit here and I even typed it to him. I say, you know what's great? I occupy such a tiny space. Just say what you want to say. But you know what? Be honest about it. And that's all I ask about. What does Ohio have to say? Curious, just curious. Tim, why can't we buy him out? Because you're not going to buy him out. This isn't like the NBA. You know, you can't buy him out. It's not the NBA. That's not the way NFL contracts works because of the salary cap implications. You just can't buy him out. You could trade him, but the problem is you're going to incur the dead cap space if you do trade him. So you can't trade him or waive him next year because he counts for like 18% of the cap, and it's going to wreck your cap for all of next year. And it's also going to wreck your cap for $22 million going in the 2025 season as well. So I wish we could. If it was like the NBA, I'd be like, yeah, man, we can do that. What is Thurman 315? 315 says, meanwhile, the pick we skipped on, I love Josh Allen. Oh, my God. I still have a number 41 Josh Allen jersey from Kentucky. And actually, it's funny. I bought the Jaguar Josh Allen jersey, number 41, right after he got drafted. Because you know what's funny? And Giants take Daniel Jones. Tom Coughlin. I don't think he even waited 30 seconds. And he ran up with a Josh Allen pick. They're like, and the New York Giants select quarterback out of Duke, Daniel Jones. And they go, oh wait, we already have the Jacksonville Jaguars picking. That's literally what happened. Yes, Bellinger did play last night, but he also got hurt. Can Eli Manning? We're gonna get through some of these because some of these are great comments. So just keep the comments coming, guys. Like we're gonna get to them. Can this be fixed? I know I've been ranting now for 34 minutes. Can this be fixed? Can this be fixed? No. I'm sorry. No. You're going to have to fix Daniel Jones for this year. You're going to have, because you can't. This is not fixable. Unless you find a team that goes stupid and looks at Daniel Jones, look at his contract, and unless it's like a Nick move where the Knicks used to always go after former first overall picks or first round picks and be like, hey, we can fix them. Brian Daboll's supposed to be one of the top 5 offensive geniuses in this league. If he can't fix him, if he can only make him average, no. This is how you can stop the bleeding. Mr. Swing Culture. This is how you stop the bleeding. Giants had the time of possession by 10 minutes. Giants, I believe, had more yards. Giants statistically pretty much dominated most of the categories. The problem is this: you're not scoring. You're not scoring. You keep your offensive plan simplistic. You go with an offensive plan similar to the 49ers. 3-step drops, 2-step drops, get the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers. Again, we're alleged we have playmakers. Get it to your playmakers and continuously grinding it out and moving the ball. The problem is you can't do this without Saquon Barkley. You can't do this without a quality running back who we didn't want to pay. Hey, Daniel, take all this money. Don't use a gun because you're robbing us. But here, we're not going to give Saquon. You suck. We don't need you. We only need you to run we only need to facilitate the entire offense through you so we can matriculate the ball down the field, but we're not going to pay you. Daniel Jones keeps throwing you into contact, but that's okay. He doesn't know anything about ball placement. He's going to get somebody killed. Again, he's continuously throwing his receivers into contact. A lot of these plays that you see that are 5-yard outs, the safety, the linebacker, the corner is right there. That's why we're not getting any yak, because you're not creating a throwing window. You're not opening up the window for your guy to move, to do something. You need to go to almost a West Coast style offense, short, concise passing game, limit Daniel Jones's ability. You know what's funny? I miss Jason Garrett. I said it. One of my favorite lines in a movie. Whoever can guess it, maybe I'll give you a prize. I cried 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. I said it. Because at least he game planned. He knew he didn't have talent. He knew he didn't have an offensive line. He knew he didn't have wide receivers. He knew he didn't have a quarterback. And what's really interesting is if you take away some of those games we probably shouldn't have won last year, the results for Daboll that first season and this season are very Judgian. This team is undisciplined. They can't tackle. They are turnover prone. They miss multitudes of assignments. It's not a well-coached team right now. You have a short week. Work on an offensive game plan. Again, short, 3-step drops. Get the ball out quick. Because even if it's a 3-yard, 4-yard pass and there's no yak, it's like a throwing running play. And continuously move the ball down the field, gain time of possession, and actually score, though. Don't have the brain fart in the red zone. And there was a lot of stinky farts yesterday. And not because I was having the pork and the prime rib. You can't stink it up. You have to punch it in. Let's go through some. I was gonna rant about Bobby Okereke too, the overpaid off the ball linebacker, I love it. I love it. I would say the last 12 hours, I have at least 9 messages from people that said, I hate you. And I get that a lot, and I don't care. I'm not here to be loved. Please love me. But every time they say they hate me, they also phrase it with, I hate you because you're always right. And I'm not always right. Not at all. But I don't change my convictions, because normally when I don't change my convictions, it's because I really believe in it. And then normally, if you look at it, it then turns around to be true. I got a video out tomorrow. And I don't know. Do I have it? Oh yeah, I have it. I don't usually do this because I like creating thumbnails, but I have a video coming out tomorrow. And let's see here. And I'm going to share my video thumbnail for tomorrow. Here we go. Here's my thumbnail there's my thumbnail for tomorrow. That is gonna be the question tomorrow. I gotta take that out. Whoops, sorry. I gotta take that out. Return of Justin Pugh is not gonna save this team, but is Daniel Jones salvageable? That's my thumbnail for mañana. So make sure you stay tuned for that video, because like I said, Nuke Lelouch said it best in Bull Durham. That one's a humdinger. Tomorrow's a humdinger. I just want to sing that. Ebony and Ivory. James Williams says, Daniel Jones is like a dead body in a horror movie. You're shocked for a second, then you move on. Mr. Alvarez says, Eli and Peyton reactions to the pick six had me dying. They look so disappointed in Danny Crimes. You know what's funny? At that point in time before that pick six, I even told James, because I'm a moron. I told James, I said, we punch this in. This is a whole new game. This is a whole new game. We punched this in. Soon as I said that, they run it back 97 yards. I think the best line of the night at the game is James is yelling, we're paying you $40 million. Throw the effing ball. Throw the effing ball. We're paying you $40 million. Throw the effing ball. And he's repeatedly saying this. And then Daniel Jones goes back and throws the ball and it gets intercepted. And the guy in the row in front of us turns around and he looks at James and goes, this was your fault. And James he goes, you told him to throw the ball. I was like, oh, dear Lord. Max on the beat says they're probably on the game plan on Blues Clues, notepads, and Crayola crayons. Zach Attack says Winks has been handled. It was handed all pros in Baltimore till the 2021 season. He refuses to adjust with the half of the injuries that got him fired. You're not wrong with that. You're 100% right. Max in the beat says Tim calls a spade a spade. I do. Honestly, I do. And I laugh at these people that just, I occupy so much space in their brain that they're just like, he just wants to talk to hear himself talk. Well, yeah. Well, I think I'm pretty awesome. And that's called sarcasm. Yeah, Kurt, I'm talking about you. Sarcasm. Look it up. I'll spell it for you later. What does Stanley say? The problem is the Giants are throwing nothing but flats, out passes, and curl routes, which is too predictable for opponents. You know what's funny? Stanley, I'm glad you brought that up. Stanley, glad you brought that up. This is going to be a question, and I want people in the chat to answer this. This is going to be a question here. There's going to be a test on this later. Name the 3 routes that Jason Garrett was accused of only going with during his 2 seasons as the offensive coordinator for the New York Football Giants. And I'm going to give you a hint. Look at Stanley's post. Little Joe Biden there. Look at his post. I love Danny Crimes. I love Danny Crimes. Danny Crimes. I love it. Danny Deers. Deers in the headlights. The big dog says, we got a 1-in-5 fire sale coming up soon. Herbologist says, Danny Dimes, Danny Crimes. I love it. I love it. Max on the beat says, the problem with Witherspoon says he stares down his first three. How many years have I been calling Daniel Jones Mr. Red Stripe? Yeah, man. How many videos did I used to do 2 years ago? And actually, I did one. Zach, I know you're in the room. Go find that thumbnail where I have a Red Stripe beer on the thumbnail, because all you had to do I think it was year 3, was watch the red stripe on top of Daniel Jones's helmet. And wherever that stripe was, that's where he was going. And it's no different. What does Chris have to say? Chris says, just look at Daniel Jones' eyes when the camera is on him, deer in the headlights, and another planet clueless. Swing Culture says, at this rate, Miami's going to score 100. Will Miami have a Wilt Chamberlain game that snowy night in Hershey when he was the first NBA player to put up 100 points? It's possible. It is literally possible. Zach Attack says, the only time you ever change something, it's back when hard evidence and has a multitude of games. Shannon Sharp wasn't even trying to be funny. I don't know what Shannon Sharp says. What is he? Danny Jones note says, I knew the team was set back 5 years when DJ was drafted 6 overall. The wrong end zone. Yeah, it was bad. Our way, I did it my way. What the Admiral has to say. Tim, would you start Danny DeVito next week if you were the head coach? Listen, I love me some Tyrod Taylor. I really do. I don't want to start Tyrod Taylor because I think Tyrod will get killed because he's 147 years old. I love it today that some people on Twitter, and I think Mr. Authentic was talking about, well, this wouldn't be happening if we had Malik Willis. It's Daniel Jones.
No. I'm not super sick.
Oh no.
No. What's yours?
Oh no.
I'm not super
I lost my Malik Willis.
I find
That's great.
I work it to work.
We'll just play it for Malik right now.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, dance low. Dance part of USA.
My name is Willie.
You gotta do the shark though.
And all my fans got screaming. You can defeat me. You're dreaming.
Of course, we always finish it. I can't believe people were saying, well, if we had Malik Willis, this wouldn't be happening. Oh, how the pendulum swings. And that's what really hurts me. Watching the pendulum swing from Twitter and these Giant fans. Oh my God. And even James, and I'm calling you out a little bit, James. I'm calling you out a little bit. Even James, I'll have you on if you can control yourself. Because this is a family show. If you could jump on, James, that'd be great. But it's the pendulum that is driving me nuts with these Giant fans. You hear it in the stands. We were literally at one point, some of these fans cheering penalties. Not that it was a big first down. Not it was a big hit. Not it was this. Gino got a 15-yard taunting penalty. Yeah. That's another hold. Yeah. I even looked at James. Says, are they actually cheering penalties? He's like, yep. James, I'm gonna text you. Even Swing Culture one, Sean. Let's see. I don't know, James. You're off today, right? You're off today. Where are you at, James? Where are you at? I'm waiting for James to come off the train. Yeah, let's see you on. I'm waiting for James to come off the train. James doesn't see me. I'm not a small guy. James literally does not see me, and he's coming through security. And I'm laughing because he still doesn't see me. He's getting through security. He's picking this stuff up. He still doesn't see me. And I look at the security guard and I say to him, hey, listen, let's give him some extra screening. Now, I'm actually wearing a Black Rifle t-shirt and a Black Rifle hat at the game as well. And James still doesn't know it's me. Oh, the exact same plays. It's the exact same plays. That's what Jason Garrett ran. That everyone was like, we got to stop running different plays. But they're running the exact same plays. Why? Admiral Tumbo says, Justin Pugh and Chris Snead and the O'Hara energy. We saw Sean O'Hara last night. Sean O'Hara's gotten small. He lost like a ton of weight. Justin Pugh is not saving this team. He is not saving this team. Send the link. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. James, I'm going to send you the link, but you have to keep it nice. You have to be nice, James. You almost got us in trouble. How many times at the game yesterday? There was this group of people that didn't like us too much. Yes, last night. They were not our friends last night. I'm gonna send it. James, I just no shit. I got a message failure. Okay, hold on, James. I gotta send it to my number, and then I gotta send it to James. In all fairness, let me rant. No, James, I can't let you rant, James. You gotta be nice. You gotta behave. I'm gonna let you on because I love you. But that's fine. I'm gonna let you rant. Here you go. I'm sending you the link. Jerry James, I just text you the link. I just text James the link. We're gonna let James on because James was there. I saw a couple super chats I want to get to. Isaiah Rogers, I haven't seen you in a while either. Where do you go? It's official. It's an abusive relationship. It really is. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Shannon, I really am just tired of Giant fans. And we were talking about the fact that James and I was like, I got 6 more games. And I said, I think I have a better time watching these games at home. Because you don't have to deal with the stupidity. You don't. You don't have to deal with the stupidity. Indian Spice says, Shannon Sharp created the Danny Crimes nickname. It is a crime because he didn't even use a gun. I love Tyrod Taylor. But like I said, I think Tyrod will get killed. Willie Beeman time. Malik Willis is trash too. Yeah, but you know what? Malik Willis is still 23 years old and has a ceiling. The ceiling for Daniel Jones is the floor. Kevin says, hey, Tim, Drake May is definitely on Dave's and the scheme and radar after that game. Don't forget to like, people. Hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes tonight. Connor, what do you have to say? CJ Stroud is a rookie with his line hurt, worst weapons. Rookie head. Oh, my God. Thank you. Rookie with a hurt line, worst weapons, rookie head coach, offense corner, doing better than Daniel Jones. Malik Willis, it's not going to happen. It's not. But I just thought it was funny that people were bringing up. Hell Guy Gigante said, Losersville were being stuck since they don't have identity as a team. Big Al and I went to the opening game, and we did the opening flag ceremony, and there's a picture of us that I took, and the Giants put it up on the Jumbotron a couple times during the game. And we're just sitting there. We're just hanging out. And, I guess they liked the picture because then I'm watching the game last night. I'm looking up at the Jumbotron, and what do I see? I see me and Ella on the Jumbotron again. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, is it the Dallas game again? Does the locker room dislike Jones? I feel like they share the opinion the league is expressing overpaid. I don't think the locker room dislikes Daniel Jones. I don't think that. I don't think we're at that point yet. But to look at his face when he came off the field, that disgusted me. There was no passion. There was no Phil Simms. Now, Eli Manning didn't have much passion. But that was Eli Manning. Phil Simms made a mistake. He's throwing his helmet. He's fired up. He's got Parcells yelling at him. He's yelling back at Parcells. This is before Phil even won a Super Bowl. Parcells would tell Simms to sit down and shut the F up and sit down. My quarterback comes off the field. He doesn't even have the balls to pick up his head and look at his head coach. That's a problem. What is Johnny said? Tim called it. Bad quarterback play makes the coordinator look incompetent. The head coach seems like a bully. The GM was a terrible talent evaluator. The O-line inept. The running back ineffective. And wide receiver non-existent. The quarterback gets paid the most on the team. To Johnny's point, because of the fact that he is the highest profile player, he handles the ball the most outside of the center. And he gets all the praise when they win, and he takes most of the blame when they lose. There is only 32 positions open for an NFL starting quarterback. And Daniel Jones is ours. Think about that. Think about, I think, what is there, 16 teams in the NFC? I think 16 teams. I think there's probably 11. And maybe even 12, because I'd probably take Justin Fields over Daniel Jones. Quarterbacks that I would take over Daniel Jones. Not even think about it. Isaiah says, how can a defender see with a cockeyed quarterback? Oh, my God, that's pretty funny. I'm going to let James on. I'm waiting for James. Mike Lee, I thought you weren't going to make it, brother. Welcome, Mike Lee. Welcome to the party. Oh, wait.
Draft bait.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Hop on, James. Everyone wants James to hop on. James, where are you? Oh, James is getting ready. He's doing his due. Bobby Jones, baby James. No, Bobby is that's Rob's rant. Giants 31st. I guess Kenny G is the problem. Tony was the problem. Evan Ingram was the problem. I had that in. Nope. Golden Tate was the problem. Oh, it's Daniel Jones, whose common denominator is why wide receivers don't work out on this team. Think about it. You're right. Kenny Galladay, 2,000-yard seasons, all this accolades, comes here and sucks. Golden Tate, the greatest guy in the NFL player of the year, or I think what is it? Well, not player of the year, the man of the year, I think at one point in time. Everyone loves him everywhere he went. Comes here and sucks. Evan Ingram sucks. Goes to Jacksonville, plays with the real quarterback. Oh, there he goes. Kadarius Toney, who we drafted, sucks, but then he goes over to Kansas City. Still sucks, but he got in the Super Bowl and won. There's a common denominator, and I've said this before, and I will pose the question to the chat again. Name me one wide receiver who left Eli Manning and became better. Ruben Randall, out of the league. Steve Smith, out of the league. Victor Cruz, out of the league. Hakeem Nicks, out of the league. Amani Toomer, out of the league. People forget Amani Toomer. Where'd he go? He played for Kansas City, I believe. But there was also a lot more that was age. The Giants are where wide receivers coming to die. You're not wrong. Indian Spices, Evan Ingram is not as good. DJ's no. Justin Pugh is going to regret signing. I said it before. You know what happened? Darren Waller is sitting there right now, and I said it on my video earlier today. He is sitting there right now in his house or his apartment or his condo, wherever he is, going, damn, I should have invited that motherfucker to the wedding. James is coming on. There he is. Dun, 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 dun. You go in the cage. Cage goes in the water. Shark in the water. Our shark. What's up, brother, man?
What's going on, brother?
I am literally still recovering from last night. And we didn't even drink.
Nah, not really. I mean, I did a little pregame on the way down, so I was already good to go. That's why I was like,
oh, I didn't. I had that one beer.
Oh, well, you had coffee. You had Black Rifle. You were good.
I had my coffee. I was wrong. So, James, you were at the game. You saw this. I don't know what we want to call it. What do we want to call it?
This sports exhibition.
I think calling it an exhibition is nice.
Sports exhibition.
I'm going to say this though, James. In all fairness, there's this guy in front of us, and James again was ranting about the $40 million quarterback and paying him $40 million. And James, you weren't quiet about it. And this guy turns around and looks at James and goes, in all fairness, it's not really $40 million. So all night I'm going, in all fairness. And my favorite line of the night, I think, from everything that we said and you did and everyone said, I think my favorite line of the night is I kept saying that to James repeatedly. And James looks at me and goes, a brother would never say that.
Now you were like pissing me off because when that guy said that, because he goes, he does the whole, well, in all fairness, that the cap hit actually doesn't take place until the next quarter of the fiscal year inside of the quarter. And I'm just like, I don't even want to waste, I'm smarter than that. So I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no doubt, brother. It's like, turn the F around, leave me the hell alone. Like, all right.
Jackson with the super chat says, James looks done. Are you done, James? After 4 games into this season? You know what's better yet? What did you see last night? Because you were there. We stayed to the bitter end when you weren't accosting 12-year-olds in Jersey and Seahawks.
Yo, I told that kid he had a dope jersey, and the dad was laughing. I said, "Oh, not you, little man." Dude had a little kid, a couple rows in front of us, had a DJ Metcalf, fresh blue, Seahawks jersey on. It was crisp. You look, he had the right jersey on.
He had the right jersey, and I love it. At one point in time, people next to us were like, "So now we're rooting for Seattle." Because at one point in time, I'm screaming, Seattle's best coffee is the best coffee there is.
That was, remember, like you said, we stayed to the end. Like you were telling everybody, oh, salute chat. What's going on, everybody? Sorry for being rude. Salute everybody in the chat.
Salute everyone in the chat, James.
But we stayed there to the end, and a lot of fans bounced. They left, after that pick six. After that was pretty much it.
People were leaving, James. People were leaving towards the middle of the third quarter. I have a video of it. People already streaming out.
Some, yeah. They definitely were, but the nail in the coffin, so to speak, was the pick six, and then that was when the droves started piling out. But the Seahawks fans, to get to the point where they took over the stadium in the fourth quarter. They had the stupid little bird call chant. We might need to get some silly little chant or something to drown that out, because we're just sitting like it's the what is it, that neon green, whatever, sea green color. You start to see that more throughout the crowd, and they're doing it, caw, 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 caw. I'm like, I'm just sitting there like, shut up. But there's not enough of us there.
And that's the other sad thing. You're right. At the end of the game, there wasn't enough Giant fans to drown out
the
fans.
No. We were about 8-9 minutes to go in the fourth. It was definitely predominantly Seahawks, and I looked at you and I was like, oh, it's like 10 minutes left in the game. Damn. Thought this beating was over. It was a slow death last night.
Speaking of the offensive line, what happened to David? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he fix Andrew Thomas? Why did we let him go? I don't think he fixed. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. I don't think he fixed Andrew Thomas. I said from the last video of Andrew Thomas's rookie season that if you watch Thomas, he had a giddy up or hiccup in his step when he went backwards, and I said he probably has some type of ankle injury, and then he went and got that corrected. And then he was able to go back into his pass blocking positions like he did back in college. And also they weren't going to keep him because of the fact that they were bringing in an entire new staff. But that's a good observation, though, Bear. That was a good observation, though. James, what was the worst part of the night on the field?
The worst part of the night is, like you alluded to, when you're actually at the game, you get to see the whole field, obviously, and we, thanks to you, brother, had pretty damn good seats. So had clear line of vision to everything pretty much that the quarterbacks can see. And for me anyway, and again, I'm from day one, I've never been on the Daniel Jones is the guy bandwagon. So whenever I say something, I'm not like piling on or whatever. I've been piling on. I started the pile. I started putting dirt on him the minute he got drafted. A lot of you guys are just getting to this dirt pile now, which is fine. Grab a shovel because this guy is dead. But seeing guys open, Wan'Dale Robinson open, seeing Waller open on the interception, seeing Hyatt about to be open if you either throw it with anticipation or wait a second. Just seeing that repeatedly where you have chances to make plays, then to wake up today and to hear people say, oh, well, he had 11, he got sacked 11 times. But
Paris Campbell got sacked that one time.
If you break down what actually happened, at best, right? And I'm going to be fair, you could divide the sacks up, half on the quarterback, half on the line.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be, you could literally do that, and I'm being nice, but it's not always the offensive line that's the problem. So that was the most annoying part to me. Just seeing guys open. Papa Smurf was wide open. Like you couldn't see Lord Helmet. Like Madden. Anybody who played Madden, when the guys open.
I just love the fact that you were screaming at one point, and you might not have remembered because you might have blacked out. You were screaming at one point. I think Wan'Dale is doing jumping jacks. Throw him the ball. He's open.
It's maybe he's punch drunk, like you've been saying, he's seeing not ghosts, but he's seeing apparitions, whatever you want to say. But I don't know what, like, I've never seen something where it's like, okay, third and 5. All right, 35 route, 2 guys are out. It's like, okay, that guy, he could throw to that guy, he could throw to that guy. And if you watch him, he's like He's about to, and then he doesn't. It's always like, no. It's let me run.
At one play, Jalen Hyatt broke past his defender and was, I believe, I would say on the 20, James. And he had time. Daniel Jones had time in the pocket. He broke past his defender. His defender came. His defender left him because I think he thought Daniel Jones was going to run. And Hyatt literally had a 10, 15-yard cushion between the nearest defender, and he was just open in the end zone. He had an open route to the end zone. And he didn't even, and it's almost like you thought he looked that way. But you didn't see him throw the ball. He didn't throw it. It's almost like I said, it's almost like he's gun shy.
I think he is gun shy, whether you can see it. It's not even, I know. Like, one thing that we have to say at this point, we don't need ESPN. We don't need analysts. We don't need people to tell us. We've watched this guy for this is going to be his 5th year. That's half a decade for doing math here. That's a good enough sample size where 4 games in and you're seeing things that he was doing in like year 2. And it's like, why are you doing that? And oh, by the way, last year was not a breakout MVP year either. 15 touchdowns is not phenomenal. So to come from that, and then you get an offseason with Dable. We added Waller. By the way, Waller, I don't know why people are getting on him. That guy was good before he got here. So I don't know why all of a sudden we're not using him. I have no idea. But Daniel Jones, we've seen it. We've seen enough. I don't know why. It's not even like to hate on the guy, hate on the man. But as a player, you suck. You suck. That's where I am now. You suck. You just suck. You're bad. You're a dweeb. You're just a dweeb. Well, it's okay.
Mike says, you take a lot of joy in being right about Daniel Jones. I've had my doubts about Jones, but rather be wrong about him if it means the Giants win games, but you love the fact that he may not be successful.
What does that even mean?
Mike, I'm going to answer this, and I'm going to answer this as the kinder, gentler Tim. You're in time off. Fuck off. Timeout.
No, but that's also the part. Not to cut you off.
This is where I was going. Go ahead. I know where you're going with this. That's why I put it up. Go for it.
But what does that even mean? What does that like? It's like, I know he's trying to do the reverse psychology of, oh, you just want to be right, and now you want to stop around the playground that you were right. It's like, okay, we were right that Daniel Jones is not the guy. Okay, that doesn't make us happy as fans that we had to sit here for 5 years, going to be 6. Because he's going to be here next year. Unless a miracle, he's going to be here next year. So 6 years of mediocrity, and really even below that, just to now have people finally go, well, you know what? Maybe he's not the guy. It's like Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner. We've all watched the cartoon if you're of a certain age. He's never catching them. And then it's like, well, you know what? He'll get him next time. That Acme crate, he'll have the special one. What does that even mean, though, Mike? Like, want to be like, you're just saying that to be really the trolling. Like, I'm so over that. I seen somebody today make a video talk about, well, Brian Dable is actually being kind of mean to Daniel Jones. He's not supporting him. How is he supposed to support a guy? He just got a new contract. He's making $40 million. Why are we babying millionaires? That guy's a millionaire.
Well, in all fairness,
I know you're trying to be funny, but it's like, but serious, like, and yeah, you're right. But he's a millionaire. He's making $40 million these next 2 years. He's going to make 80 to 90. He's going to make close to $100 million off the Giants for being not the guy. $100 million for being not the guy.
He's going to be here a minimum of 6 years. And you're right. Make $100 million and leave and not be the guy.
So what are we still arguing for?
We're supposed to be a Giant fan sitting there going, well, we got a playoff win in Minnesota out of it. What happened to the fact that this Giant organization used to win championships? I believe it was Orlovsky. I can't remember who it was that said on the radio today, the Giants aren't the team of, hey, let's raise the wild card flag. We got a wild card flag. Let's raise it. No, we won divisions. We won championships. We won Super Bowls. And now we're sitting there, and as a fan base, we're sitting there going mediocrity for 6-7 years and $100 million. Well, you know what? Let's not be rude about it.
It's crazy. I got news for Giants fans out there. And I never like to root on somebody getting hurt, but we got real lucky that Aaron Rodgers got hurt and he didn't actually play and actually be good, because this would be a green town right now. It would be a green town. It'd be green. Like, we're turning into the Jets. Like Tim said earlier, we've been so beaten. We're like in an abusive relationship where, somebody's coming along and giving us like a Happy Meal, and we're thinking it's like escargot and like a, prime rib steak dinner. Like, guys last night at the game, Daniel Jones was running for like 6-7 yards, and everybody's in there like, yeah! High five! Slap hands! Yeah! And it's ridiculous at this point. Like, what are you looking at? We're on Monday Night Football. Beautiful night in October. We're like, and this guy is running, like, every time he has a chance to throw, he runs, and we're supposed to really get up and cheer for that.
I think it was great, though, because it would be 3rd and 9 and they would run a 5-yard out. And people would still be cheering, and it's like, we're still 4 yards short. It's a completion, but it's not a first down. But people were still cheering. And I think at times, and I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. You got people like Chris and Bad Dog, who, and especially Bad Dog at one point, Sam, who understood what Daniel Jones was. But then they fell into the euphoria of winning 9 games and beating teams on a bad schedule. And they were all, let's go get it. 40 million is not enough. Let's give them 50.
Yeah.
Then, they made excuses after the Dallas game. They were on their high horses after 2 quarters in Arizona. And then they forgot all about it.
In Arizona.
They forgot all about it against San Francisco and now Seattle. But sometimes I feel that, and you watch a lot, and honestly, I get most of my information about YouTube from you and Zach and a couple other people, because I don't watch any other videos. But do you think that the stupidity that we see at times in the stands and in the chats and on Twitter is a direct correlation between what people are putting on as content in reference to giving bad to misinformation about players because of the fact that it's the likes, the clicks, the bleeps, and the boops, and they don't want to sit there, and you don't want to be too you don't want to be too out there. You want to make sure you keep this fan base at right in the middle there. But do you think is that, like I said, you watched it a lot more than I do. Is that a disservice to not only the fans that learn the game through YouTube, but just to the intelligence in general of fans?
Well, that's a good question. I'm gonna answer it in 2 parts and try not to be too long-winded. First thing, like I said to you at the game last night, we're in a weird space in society right now where it's even bigger than the Giants. But for some reason in society right now, you can't speak the truth and you can't be too harsh, and you always have to think about feelings all the time. Not saying feelings don't matter, and all that, but it's just we're in a weird space where if you come out and you just say what it is, and like you don't fluff the pillow around it, then you're almost looked at like, oh well, you may be right, but you have to be so harsh about it.
Hold on one second. Good night, Indian Spice. Just want to say good night. He's leaving. But go ahead.
But so with social media, it's even, you have to be even more craftier, and it's even weirder because social media is not really real. It's like the Matrix. So when you're on there, you almost have to. It's like politics. You can't be real. You can't be too real. You almost have to like just create a happy space for people to come and feel comfortable. And yeah, man, we're gonna win today. Even though I have no idea why, but we are. And I get it. That's part of being a fan. Fan is fanatic, but it's also got to be speaking some real, what too. It can't be all fluff the pillow. That's what I call it. We just fluff the pillow. We want everybody to be comfortable. People on YouTube, I get it. There's financial gains to be made. It's a popularity. It's high school. It's a popularity thing. The more popular you are, the more clicks and the beeps and the boops you get. I get it. I'm not a creator like you. You put your hard work, time, effort, money into this. I get it, you know. But if you're going to do that,
hard work and effort, that's debatable.
No, you do. You do. You do. You do. Just to be real. But don't you think if you're going to do all that, and you don't want to be like those conglomerates on TV, like ESPN and Fox, aren't you going to come on here and actually say something that's real, and not just always pander to the crowd, pan to the crowd. Excuse me.
Pander to the crowd.
But it's like I don't understand it. And again, I'm not a creator. I don't have a channel. If I come on here or somebody catches one of my videos, that's just how pissed off I am, because I'm seeing all the crap. Like, people on YouTube are supposed to be different than the news or the regular ESPN, and it's the same. It's a popularity contest. So yeah, they fall into the thing of, I don't know how much money you get for a video or somebody or whatever, but they've figured out some kind of way that if I just tell people what they want to hear, they will come, and I'll just keep doing that. And that's just how some people make a living, I guess, But I don't know why we, as men, at least in the space of men, and shout out to any women in the chat, whatever, all the women who watch football, but in the space of men, we've stopped keeping it real. We've just stopped, and I don't know why. And it's leaked into sports now. It's like we just don't say what it is. It's like DJ, he was a reach when we took him. And Bad Dog, I follow his channel. I've been a supporter of his channel. But the one thing, and I'll shut up after this because I'm getting long-winded. The one thing that kills you content creators is that everything you guys do, it's online. It's posted.
It doesn't go away. Delete it.
So Bad Dog's initial reaction to DJ getting drafted, we saw that. Even Chris, because they do the split screen joint, they're a team, which they do a good job together. But we saw their reactions. So how do you go from those initial reactions, natural reactions, to the next 4 or 5 years of, well, he's going to be good, and he's the guy, and I believe in him? How do you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know.
Damien says they want us to say we want DJ to live in a box. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Let's grab some of these chats real quick, because I want to also get to some other things. I always love Omega Supreme. I always got to throw Omega Supreme up there every once in a while. David says Bad Dog is just dumb. I don't think he's dumb. I think
he's not. But he gets into that popularity trap. Sorry.
I think no, it's fine. You can just talk over me, Rob. I think Todd says
I love Bobby Johnson.
It's Bobby Johnson. Homer Dog is hilarious at this point. Fabian says we as fans should be angry at the organization as a whole. I think he's right. I mean, James, we were. Hey, Mark, what's up? Mark Stewart's in the house. Don't forget to like.
What up, Mark? What up?
We were at one point, James, I would say 7-8 feet away from Shane and Dable.
Oh yeah, they were right there.
And Shane had, I think Shane had his family or someone at the field, because he was hugging and kissing a lot of people on the field. I think it was probably his family, and I was thinking, as we're all sitting there, we're not Giant fans, close family like that, but when we're all in the stadium, we're all a family. We don't all get along. We don't all, do these things. But then when you see Shane, being so excited, and then you see how the game rolls out and how the game is played, you're sitting there and you're seeing if you're Shane, you're seeing your extended family all around you kind of ticked off. And honestly, we need to point some of the direction, James, at him. He brought in Lewinsky. He brought in Bredesen. He got Waller. He got Okereke. He got he brought back people like Hodges, and he brought in Paris Campbell, and he drafted Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. And I think a lot of times we're not putting any blame on the guy we're blaming everyone that is cooking in the kitchen, but we are not blaming the guy that's bringing in the expired ingredients.
Expired ingredients.
And I kind of think in some ways, James, we need to look at this as a whole, and we need to look at it as an organization.
Well, look at it like this. First, one scary point that I wanted to get out before I forget, because short-term memory. Um, we have to be careful because our last three coaches have literally done the exact same thing before I get to Shane. Ben McAdoo, he had the one good year. We made the playoffs, then fell off the cliff. Joe Judge had the great press conference, and everybody was Joe Judge forever.
At the great press conference.
Then the next year, we're doing the victory formation, and then fell off the cliff. Dabo comes in here and wins Coach of the Year. And our first game the next year, we lose at home 40-0. Whoa.
We lose by 40.
That's to your division rival that's kicked our pants in the last 4 or 5 years. So it should be 40-0 from the Coach of the Year. And honestly, ever since that game, we've just looked like a hairball rolling down the street or a tumbleweed.
And
the Arizona thing was like,
we only scored 3 points now in MetLife this year.
64-3, brother. You guys like facts? How about this? 64-3, we've been outscored in our 2 home games. Our $40 million quarterback now has more turnovers than touchdowns, 64-62. That means that ratio was a lot closer before we signed him, and you wanted to sign that guy to a long term because you thought he was just going to turn that corner. He's going to turn the corner.
Daryl Smith says James Williams should definitely come on more often. I would have James on all the time. Todd says, did he hug us, Shane? No, Shane didn't hug us. I think Shane flipped us off.
Shane looks good in a suit. I got to be honest. That's the one thing I can say to Shane. He looks sharp. He looked like he knows what's going on.
He looked good. We got Mark Stewart dropping super chat saying, salute G family. What's up, Mark? I missed Mark. I haven't seen Mark in a little while. Let's see here. Max on the beat said expired ingredients probably have more flavor than this garbage. Omega Supreme says, could it be a chemistry issue? We need the perfect blend of blue. Breaking Bad. It could be, man. I've been watching this show on I don't think it's on Discovery Channel. It's about drug smuggling in Cartagena in Mexico. At the airports, they use this thing, it's a spray, and if they put the powder and it turns blue, it's cocaine. So I mean, I'm learning all about it. I'm learning all about drug smuggling. Not that I would ever want to do it because I go to jail for like 6 to 10 years.
Well, the old trick was coffee beans, coffee grind.
Boy, you are old. Hirsch for real. Caleb pulls an Elway, and Eli, he wants to be a Giant. I would take him. I would take anything. One Backs on the beat said, kicked our pants in. Nice the way to put it. I can think of better words that are more fitting. Mr. Alvarez also comes up. Jones and Jimmy Garoppolo, who missed this week with the most interceptions in a season so far. People forget James. He should have had 3 interceptions. The one guy dropped it. I mean, like, just it was almost he dropped it like he was Paris Campbell. I mean, we have to look at it that way. Let's see here. We scored 3 points in 2 home games. Mind-boggling. Daryl says still the only team in the NFL not to have a touchdown in the first half. People forget that.
That's crazy.
Davey says, Tim, are you thinking of a career change? No, I'm not. And it's To Catch a Smuggler, I think it's called, and it's all about this airport.
Yeah.
And it's a good. I've recorded all of them. I just started watching them. They're actually really good.
No, they are. I've watched them.
But no, I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm not going back to jail. You can't make me. An indictment is not a conviction. Just remember that, James.
Stupid. Yeah, you're stupid. I wanted to say something, but I'm like, I almost said something really crazy. I'm like, whoa, this is
you are one of the only persons that I allow to call me stupid. I love you. What are the? I mean, we go to Miami. We go.
That'll be fun.
We go to Buffalo. There's going to be a question here, so don't talk until I tell you. We're going to go to Buffalo. I'm building it up. We're going to Buffalo. We're 1-3, possibly going to be 1-5, James. Where do we go from there. If we truly go 1-5 and Daniel Jones looks still as horrid as he's looked, where do the Giants go? Do they go to DeVito? Do they go to Taylor? Do they look for another? Because you can't have him getting killed every week. And to your point, I say 50% is on the line. 50% is Daniel Jones holding on the ball too damn long. Where do you go?
Well, before the season started, I told my boy who was sitting next to me, who supports your channel too, that by Halloween we would know where this season is going. And I still stand by that. Like by Halloween, we'll know exactly what we are. There's going to be no wavering. I don't care what happens after that. We would have played enough of the season and enough of quality teams that we know what we are. I say, honestly, and this is how you know we don't have we're not a real team. Because if we were a real team last night, they would have benched Jones and put in Tyrod. Because we saw him warming up.
We did.
And I thought we thought he was going in and he wasn't. But for some reason, again, we're handling this kid with kid gloves. But that's another whatever. But if we lose to Zach Wilson, I think honestly, we should really think. And we lose all the games up to that. So we lose the Miami, the Buffalo, the Washington, and then we lose the Jets game too. I think honestly, and again, if you're a real team and you care about the future and the fans, I would bench Jones, put in Tyrod, let the season play out. And if I have a chance to get a quarterback, I'm taking a quarterback. And I'm just going to have a quarterback on the team with Jones for 1 minute. I know that sounds crazy. I know it does. And that's only if a quarterback falls into our lap or we lose enough games, But I want to say that you have to give the fans something. Like last night, to put Tyrod in, the game was still a game. Before that pick six, it was a game. It was a game. And if you have a real quarterback, even at 21-3 at home with a whole quarter to go, you could come back. Go look it up, kids. Peyton Manning came back on the Bucs in like 7 minutes or 5 minutes. It was crazy. If you have a real quarterback, you can make magic happen. We don't have a real quarterback. That's why 21-3, 14, all these deficits, they're not that bad, but they seem so deafening. But if we lose to Zach Wilson, because if we lose to Zach Wilson, that's just,
we lose to Zach Wilson, quit.
We lose to Zach Wilson, you got a long haul to December, January making videos.
If we lose to Zach Wilson, it's all right, everyone. This is Philadelphia Eagles Radio. This is Tim bringing all Philadelphia news live and in person. That's what I'm doing.
We should. I know you can't tank in the NFL, but we should really think about okay, we have to think about the future after that. If we lose all those games, we have to, because you can't sit here and say we're gonna run it back again. We're just gonna run it back. It's how many times have we been running it back?
But that's the question. Honestly, can you really say you can't? To your point, you can't say, well, we're going to run it back with Jones again in 2024. When do the fans revolt?
I think they're starting.
Davey says, Tim, I'll gladly be your cellmate. Joe Rev says, say hello to my little friend. You got to have this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
And that's why James is pointing at me. We paid the Raiders off for a win. We could pay the Raiders off. I think they would take it. Donnie, what's up, guys? Do you think Merrick forced DJ on Shane and Dable? I do.
That's a big conspiracy. We know that.
I may be an unpopular opinion, but I really do think we did. Let's see here. Let's see. Mike says we'll know exactly what this team is by Halloween. To Max, to James's point. Michael Lee says Halloween must be coming early this year.
Yeah, the Ghosts and Goblins already out.
But James drafting a quarterback isn't fixing what's broken for the last 10 years, but it's a start.
Yeah, I know Fabian. Fabian's right. We're rotten from the top down, but we can't replace Mara, much like we can't replace Dolan with the Knicks. Mara owns the team. He's not going anywhere. There was a lot of things. DJ was not the only problem last night, but you got to start somewhere. And the quarterback is the easiest thing to fix. I'm sorry, it's hard, but it's the easiest thing to fix.
Daryl says if we lose to Sam Howell, then the wheels have officially come off the bus. Sam
We're
Howell.
going to lose to Sam Howell. One of those games.
There is a potential possibility we lose to Sam Howell's. Heidi Ho says the red line analysis says it all. The red line. It's a go back. Zach, where are you at? Find the video. Maybe he found it. I can't. It was like 3 years ago. I even have a bottle of Red Stripe. I call it Red Stripe and Mon. Back in the old days, when I was not the kinder, gentler Tim. Admiral Matumbo says I just puked my meal. Me rewatching the Neil block on Walla Walla Walla. Evan Neal is just Evan. But everyone knew coming out of college, Evan Neal was going to have issues with the speed rush, James. Everyone knew it. Every analyst said it. Every draft report said it. But Giant fans, I sent you the video on Twitter. Oh, thank you, Zach. I'm going to post it. Zach, can you post the video? Can you post the video here so we can post in the chat with the red stripes? I think that actually was a really good video. Yeah. We all knew that everyone knew, James, that Evan Neal could not stop the speed rush. Everyone knew. But Giants and Giant fans and the Giant organizations like this, we didn't see that coming.
No. He's Turnstile Neal right now. We got Casper Kayvon and Turnstile Evan. And those are not two good nicknames we want to have on those guys. It's not good. Not good. Like, I'm actually shocked at how bad he is. I really don't know what to say about it. Like, you shouldn't be this bad. You could struggle. I don't mind you struggling, but you're bad. You know, and just to jump on the Kayvon thing, even though I know you didn't bring him up, but Kayvon, like you said, let me just break this down because people, I heard this today. Well, Kayvon Thibodeau played good. Kayvon Thibodeau was a bright spot. Kayvon Thibodeau did his thing. Stop it. He had a sack in the first 5 minutes of the game, and he had a sack in the last 6 minutes of the game. By the first sack had no real impact on the game. It was just like, oh, okay, I'm here. Okay. Then he disappeared, and then he caught another sack when the game was already decided. How is that really having an impact? I say all that to say I'm really worried about our two supposed to be stud draft picks going. This is year 2, so it's still early. It's not like they're in year 5, but
it's not year 5, James. We know that.
It's you know, it's like, okay, like you need to start blocking some people. Stop letting everybody run past you.
I created a sound effect. I didn't play. I never played it, but I created James a sound effect for Kayvon Thibodeau for his birthday.
Hey kids, look over there. Who is it? It's Kayvon, the friendly pass rusher. Oh no, now he's gone.
That was for James's birthday.
That's actually really good, and it's actually sad because it's on point. He just appears and disappears. He's Casper, man. He's a friendly ghost, friendly pass rusher, man. It's crazy.
Zach, the unofficial producer of Online Big Blue Sports Entertainment, has actually got us the video link and the screenshot for the Red Stripe video, and I'm actually loading it right now so we can show everyone, so you can go back and watch that video because it's just perfect. Eric also says you can't do anything on offense. The line can't block. I can't believe the regression of KT, and the play calling is just remedial.
Oh, the play calling.
Let's get into the play calling in a second, James.
Yo. Running Matt Breida up the middle 9 times a game. It's not really a good plan. Matt Breida's not going to bust one out the other side and be like, oh, there he goes. He's not that kind of back. It's not happening.
I think
it's crazy.
I think it was he had 2 yards of carry. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's the screen. Wait, here's the screenshot. So here we go. That is from the I gotta take that one down. New York Giants, Daniel Jones is now the king of the red stripe, and not in a good way. So that was the video. Wow. I don't remember what the date was on that. I'll have to go back and look at some people and see it. But that was the video I did for I think it was the second season.
That was a good game. That was an ugly day.
That was an ugly day. That was a bad day. But I'll find. I'll click on and find out what the date is if people want to go back and watch it. But the play calling was just atrocious. There was no imagination. You prayed that Jason Garrett would come back into the building.
We are the kings of motion to go nowhere. We are the kings of motion to go. Poor Paris Campbell is going to have more yards just running in motion than actually catching or yak.
Poor Hyatt. The poor guy runs off and on that field more than anyone you've ever seen in the history of the NFL. I think he ran like 7.5 miles yesterday, and too bad it was sideline to sideline.
And the thing that's so bad is because I don't believe in the quarterback, I don't know, is it because Hyatt doesn't know the playbook? Is he not getting open? I mean, I definitely saw him open once or twice last night. I definitely did with my own eyes. But why is this kid not being used more? He was a first round. What are we, the Detroit Lions? We're just going to get a bunch of wide receivers that don't work? Looking at you, Kenny G.
I just posted the video to the Red Stripe video. It's in the chat. It's in the link. You made an observation at the beginning of the game, and I thought it was funny when you made it, but then as the game progressed, and hopefully you remember it, and I think you're going to remember it because, and you made the comment during the game, and I thought about it, and at like the third quarter, I got, well, maybe he's not wrong. What were you saying during warmups for the Giants?
Oh, yes. I was hoping you were going to say that, but I'll say we got our team. We got too much soul train and not enough freight train. Those dudes during warmups, like Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm sure his TikTok must be amazing. And I don't know he has a TikTok, but I bet he has a TikTok. And our team is just so like they're on the field, they're all like, yeah, that's my joint, Meanwhile, the damn Seattle Seahawks came out like, remember the Titans in one line. They came out in a line together, and I'm looking at us, and we over there Tootsie rolling and cabbage patching and whatever that. I'm telling you, this team, we got no toughness. Kayvon Thibodeau is not tough. I mean, he's tough because he's an NFL player. Don't get me twisted, but he's not a super tough guy. He's not. Our offensive line is not bullying nobody. Our quarterback is not tough. Like, who's tough on this team? Saquon, okay, I'll give you Saquon. Andrew Thomas, Graham Gano, Double G. We got no toughness. And I know, like, offensive line and blocking and things, but your quarterback got to make something happen. Like, these games that we're having, you know what's weird about the DJ thing? As much as I hate him, he actually has a perfect opportunity to prove himself. Last night was a perfect time. The Seattle Seahawks were banged up. The secondary was out. You're on prime time. You had a chance to break your own curse. No Saquon. Okay, I got some weapons now. Poor Shepard, he was another one doing motion on the sideline.
Yeah.
He was moonwalking on the side. He didn't even play. I'm looking at him. I'm getting distracted. Like, what the heck is he doing? Why didn't he play? Why didn't he play? Like, our receiver core is not doing anything.
Sidelines.
Like, put him out there. Like, Kafka, the play calling, which we do a lot of motion to go nowhere. Like, we'll do all this motion, and then it's just run up the gut.
It was like, give the ball to Breida.
Give the ball to Breida. Run up the gut. Right off tackle, right tackle. Run up the gut. The one thing we've been saying, you've been saying, some of us have been saying, Michael Lee, shout out to everybody in the chat. Like, all of us, some of us have really seen, he doesn't change the play.
Ever.
Like, so let's say Kafka, okay, you throw in a bonehead call, like it's 3rd and 10 with under 2 minutes to go. We're driving to get some points, and there's a running play called. You're Daniel Jones, quarterback of the New York Giants. You just got a new contract. You can go in there and be like Moxie and be like, hey, you know what, boys? Screw that. This is what we're going to do. Hyatt, you go deep. Waller, you cut across here. Breida, you block somebody. What? You can change the play. You can, like, there's certain things where it's like people, everything is not his fault, but there are things you can do. Change the play, call out the defense, like put people in the right position. Stop leading people into hits where they're gonna get cracked and fumbled or injured, like you said with Wandell. Like Papa Smurf, Lord Helmet, aka Papa Smurf, is not gonna make it. I love Papa Smurf because he tries hard, but that guy, man, he's not gonna make it. It's not gonna make it.
And also Papa Smurf, in all fairness, dates a hot blonde that only wears panties.
Are you playing around?
Yeah.
Does he do the hot blonde? Because I'd be happy for it. Like, hey, Papa Smurf. Like, hey.
Oh wait, I thought we were talking about the real Papa Smurf.
Oh my God, yo, I bet you can't find a picture of DJ's girlfriend anywhere.
Hershford says Paris Hilton has better hands than Paris.
Ooh, Hirsch, that's a good one. If you know, you know. That's a good one, though.
I wanted to get to that one.
That's a good one.
Max in the Beat says the whole team is full of Chase Claypools. Yeah, I don't disagree with that actually. So Fabian wants to know. So it's a bunch of pansies.
Yeah, we're strong.
Great observation, James. That is a big problem. No swag, says Bruce. I agree. Zach Attack comes back with Kayvon's built like a wide receiver.
He's like a tight end, small tight end.
So you're saying they all wear panties, James? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and they're wearing the grandma panties.
I'm selling y'all on fee fi fo fum chance eventually. I've been seeing that Omega Supreme.
Yo, we need to do something, man, because the cacaws was crazy. Like I was like, oh my God, they out there doing go,
I love this because Eric was saying we should run the wing T. At one point during the game, I was telling James that we need to run the old 70s or 60s version of the West Virginia veer.
Yeah,
the veer only has like 5 plays, and 4 of them are running plays.
You wanted to go in there like Denzel. We're gonna run 5 plays.
Most people don't know Bobby Bowden used to be coach of Florida State. Used to be the coach over at West Virginia, and he was known as the forefather or the king of the veer. I think he's dead, so it might be hard to get information from him if he's dead.
Oh, I think you're right. I think he is.
Oh, we could give him a call. See if he's dead. He's not going to be busy. So
we could just ask one of the ghosts that DJ is seeing to relay a message.
The veer.
We should do something. You know what's crazy? We did. First of all, what was I yelling the whole night that we didn't do? That I got home at like 2 a.m. I was so mad. Still thinking about the play action to Hyatt. I was like, the first quarter.
every play the Giants ran from the first quarter, I would say, to almost the end of the half. James is yelling, "Play action to Hyatt! Play action to Hyatt!" This literally was the size of the crowd last night as we were getting ready to leave. That was the size of our crowd. But literally, he was just yelling, it's a play action to Hyatt.
It's a play action to Hyatt. I'm like, why don't we ever run that? I don't like it. Just, I know it's not Madden, but sometimes just keep life simple. Don't mess up Jell-O, kids. You don't got to add fruit all the time. Just sugar, water, stir, put it in the fridge. Just, you don't got to do all this.
So now we're calling Daniel Jones Jell-O.
He's no wonder bread. Oh, by the way, the Vanilla Vic thing, I'm putting an end to that. I'm sorry. That is dead. It is over. White Vic lives in Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know the guy, Josh Allen? That's White Vic. This Vanilla Vic crap, whichever one of you fanboys started that, go outside and do some push-ups. That's my new thing. You guys are dweebs. I'm bringing back dweeb. We're greasers. I'm bringing back dweebs. You guys are dweebs. Enough with the Vanilla Vic. It's over.
Eric says we have no identity on this team, 0 toughness. The coaching staff from special teams to the head coach is failing the team. New play calling on the offense. No play, or maybe it's no play calling. But he's right. This team, it's funny. He's got a picture of Carl Banks, and I was listening to the ESPN was playing parts of the Giant radio broadcast with Bob Papa and Carl Banks. And after they threw the interception, Daniel Jones threw the interception, he ran it back for the touchdown, and he scores. Carl Banks says so succinctly, and the Giants offense is officially broken. And Carl Banks is the biggest Giant. I mean, because he works for the Giants. He's one of the biggest homers I've ever seen. But every once in a while, it's like a truth bomb, just kind of like Howard Cross last night, James. I was telling them about it earlier. Howard Cross had every excuse in the book for why Daniel Jones did not excel. And James is sitting there at one point yelling at the top of his lungs, "What about the pass to the end zone?"
I felt so bad for that brother. It's like we took an L. Everybody's bad. We got blown out. Seahawks fans could call in, and he's sitting there on his chair, little light on him, like it's a poetry night. And he's like, "Hey guys, I'm Howard Cross, and I'm here to try to console your little feelings that just got stepped on. Well, it's not his fault. He got sacked 10 times." He's just saying all this rhetoric. You know, with another guy who was doing that today, Tiki. If anybody heard Tiki on the Fan, if you're in New York or the area, Tiki Barber, first of all, we should never listen to Tiki. Unlike Howard Cross, who we respect, Tiki Barber, we should never listen to him when it comes to quarterback advice, because he's the genius who retired and then said Eli Manning is never going to be the guy. Ha! Anyway, Tiki Barber was on the radio today basically saying how, well, the Giants didn't play that bad, and it's really only about 4 or 5 plays that really decided the game. And if you really analyze it, they actually had opportunities to win the game. And the problem with that is, it came down to about 4 or 5 plays. The problem is your quarterback was involved with half of them and included turnovers that led to touchdowns for the other team. Damn it! I'm getting mad again. I got to calm down.
Damian Jackson says, Wusa. Damian, you know what? I laugh also. I'm going to tell us another story in a second. But Damian Jackson says we need to give DJ an intervention. I also want to give a big shout out to Mrs. Online Big Blue. She completed something, and she just texted me. She completed something that I'm not going to get into what it is, but it's something business related that is very difficult to do, and she's been working extremely hard to get it done. And I'm always proud of her and successful, how successful she is in her career and how successful she was to take it upon herself to do this. So baby, I love you. You know it. And I'm very proud of you for, I'm not going to say what you did, but I'm very proud of you. Just texting me what you did, because you deserve it. You owned it, because that's just what you do. Oh,
Mr. Online Big Blue, whatever that is, congratulations. We support women here. We support women here. Unlike the Giants, who, even though it's breast cancer month, for some reason you couldn't find an ounce of pink anywhere on that field last night. But that's neither here nor there.
Can I tell the photobomb story?
Oh yeah, because you suck. Go ahead, you suck, and you try to get people in trouble. Try to get a bagel thrown at my head. I don't need that.
So we are James and I are taking pictures on the sidelines, and evidently there was this young lady who walked behind us.
So conveniently, rather slowly.
Kind of slowly and stealthily walks behind us. And I send James the picture, and I say to James, "Hey, send this to your girlfriend." And James looks at me and says, "I can't send this to my girlfriend." And I said, "Why? Why can't you? Why can't you send it to her?" He says, "Because she's going to kill me." And I looked at the picture, and I said, "Well, there's nothing in this picture that I think that you're." And I'm going to put up the picture because I have the picture.
You put up the picture? Yo, you stupid. You're gonna try to catch her with a little.
So there we are on the sidelines.
Oh my God, yo.
Look at the picture, and I sent it to James, and I'm like, "I don't see anything wrong with the picture. I don't see anything wrong whatsoever." So I say, "Send it to your girlfriend." And James sends it over to his girlfriend. And what you don't have to read the exact text messages, but what was the message? That back?
She said, oh yeah, you guys got there safe. Cool. Oh, great. Looks like you guys are great seats. Oh, who's that scallywag behind you? Scallywag. Oh, and also, that's not her hair. Like, who said anything about her hair? Who said anything about this poor young lady's just out enjoying the game on this nice Monday night's hair? Gee, women are so mean. They say men are mean. Women are mean. Just attack that poor young girl. Look at her. She's just out enjoying the game. She's just creeping a little bit. She's definitely creeping a little bit. But
it's hair and an eyeball.
But if you see like her eye, she's like looking. It's almost like it looks bad because it's like she's looking at the camera. Like, I'm supposed to be here too, but I'm hiding. That's how she took it anyway.
Oh, you know? I didn't know that. I just love the fact that my favorite line was that you were telling me. You let me read the text message, and then I didn't read the last one, but all I know is you sat there and you told me. And Rachel, sorry, and your girl says that's not her real hair.
Yeah, so I gotta bring her down. And it's just not. It's like nobody's even said anything about her hair.
But I love it because of the fact that I showed it to Mrs. Online Big Blue, because I sent her the same picture.
What she say?
And because she always jokes that she always says that, and I've told this story before. She always told me that if I ever cheated on her, she was going to chop me up and put me in a blender and feed me to my mother. And I believe that. She sent me a picture of or a GIF of someone putting all this shit in a blender. And then I was nervous for a second, and then she goes, haha, I'm just kidding. I'm thinking to myself, well, James, and I told James at one point in time because his girlfriend was still kind of texting him about it. We were looking at the MetLife sign, and I said, I got to tell you something right now, James. I said, I'm worried a bagel is going to come flying over the MetLife sign.
And I knew it was going to be a problem. Number one, because the girl was attractive, and even in like that corner little Picasso thing, for some reason, she's going to look at that and immediately feel some kind of attack her hair. I think you tell it all the time. I watch reality shows with her. That's like a thing, no doubt. So, but she always does it like, that's not her hair. By the way, that's not real. Like, like that plastic thing we see, you know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to say too much, but she's like, oh, that's not real. That's not real. It's not real. It's like, I didn't say it was. I didn't even say I was looking at it. It's like, but the picture, the girl, like after you took the picture, it's like she knew because she went, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, like she was like, I'm like, all right, it's fine. It's okay. You're good. It's all right, shorty. All right, move along. Get out of here. Scram. Get us in trouble.
I didn't get in trouble.
Don't need that.
There's
cameras here. There's cameras here. They got Zoom now. It's HD. 4K.
I didn't get in trouble. Irish River congratulates Mrs. Online Big Blue. Big Dave congratulates Sue. Mike Lee says, I'm Mrs. Online Big Blues next week. Oh, wait, we don't want her to get killed. Scratch that idea. I know I'm online. Mrs. Online Big Blue is tough. She can handle it. She could handle starting. Big Don says the same thing. Congrats. Zacatech says, Tim, you can crop the photos. No, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, we don't know how to. We're old real men. We don't do that. A photo's a photo. We're not taking nothing out, edited nothing.
I love this one because he even said before scallywags. James' girlfriend was born in 1949.
Yo, scallywag. That's a throwback.
I like
scallywag.
Man, she's kind of fly. James Wings. James women are such haters. Listen, I'm not going to tell the story of Big L in line with the plastic Barbie from 1956, who was sitting there with her man's credit card, who came down from the suite just to get drinks. That is hitting on the Latin Stallion.
Oh,
yeah. I'm not going to tell that story.
Some things just stay in the coaches club.
What happens at the coaches club stay? I'm sorry. I'm a bit late, but I think Barkley started. Yes, Barkley did start the Vanilla Vic thing.
Well, I'm killing it. It's dead. It's over. It's dead. I see anybody saying that, I'm jumping on your page or whatever your Twitter is. I'm harassing the hell out of you for 24 hours. Nah.
Big L says Tim knows he would get the Lorena Bobbitt treatment real quick. Yeah, my wife's good with a knife. She's Puerto Rican and Native American. Yeah, I'm afraid. So what? Yeah, I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, and she's very small. Yeah, I'm afraid. Be very, very afraid, because they mostly come at night. Mostly. You know what the worst part is? I actually have that sound effect.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you do. You haven't played that in a minute though.
But I had it for James.
That's great. This is fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're pretty dead now, man.
And of course, we're talking about the Giants.
Yeah, that is so funny because that's from the movie Aliens. Anybody who don't know that, and that's my man R.I.P. Bill Paxton. It's one of my favorite actors. I love that dude. But that scene right there and that quote, that's compared to us right now. It's the same crap. We're going through the same crap. Bill Paxton. It's like, what are we gonna do now, man? Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over.
And it is game over. It's game over.
But you know why?
Oh man.
Because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Oh, that's Daniel Jones before primetime games because they're always at night. You know,
that's literally Daniel Jones sitting in the locker room.
We better get
come out at night.
It'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
That's literally Daniel Jones on prime.
Yo, oh, that's so funny because he sucks in primetime. And primetime's always at night. The ghosts are coming to get him. Oh my god!
And Big L says he knows it too because he's married to a Dominican.
So he's got to watch out for knives too. He knows.
He knows. Giants organization got rid of all the players that would have speak up and create controversy. Mara forgot LT was a badass. He was outspoken, no fear. Omega says Aliens 1986. Giants won the Super Bowl with Phil Simms. Oh no, we suck again. Well,
suck no, we suck again.
I just like throwing in multiple clips for no apparent reason.
You can do it! Oh no! We suck again!
You know what's gonna happen, right? You know what's gonna happen. We're gonna end up this whole little era of the Giants. We're gonna end up on one of those NFL films or 30 for 30s, and it's gonna be the $40 million quarterback. That never was.
$160 million quarterback.
It's going to be $160 million. It's going to be the quarterback from Duke. It's going to be I don't know what the title is going to be, but I'm telling you, man, that somebody's going to do a doc on this whole little how did this guy get this money?
Wait, we got two things here, and I got to check out. But we got two things, and you have to tell me, James, that you have to tell me the movie because I already know the movie. And this is a line from Mike Lee, and this is a line from a movie. You have to know. Tell me what the movie is. We're still shitty.
We're still shitty? That line?
That's a line from a movie.
I'm drawing a blank here.
It's a baseball film.
Not Major League.
It's from Major League. When the two Chinese guys are
fix the chart.
The thing, and they say like, well, they say, blah, 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 we're still shitty. And they say it on the bottom.
Fix the field. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I was turning into the dude from the fans from Major League. Like, you stink! Whoa, dang! Daniel Jones, you suck! I was going crazy last night, man.
Big Mike has said he's going to go to Giants Stadium and try out for the left tackle. At this point, hey, why not?
He should.
Why not? Mike, Zach Attack brings up this little gem for you, James. James, today is National Boyfriend's Day, which means your girl needs to be nice to you for the next 20 minutes.
You know what the problem with that, Zach? Shout out to Big Zach. No woman on earth knows today is National Boyfriend's Day.
She does right here. She does right here.
Yeah,
Mama Sita in the corner does right there. She's looking at James going, "Hi, puppy, you look so good."
See, and then after she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Oh, that's cool, no doubt. Get the heck away from me. There's cameras over here. We're sitting right here in this section. We just look like we're having a nice little conversation. Oh, you look so nice. Get the hell away from me."
Irish Rover drops in and says, "Gotta run, guys. Always great to see James. By the way, my wife gave me the Bobbit talk the other time I had to travel for work. Good night, guys."
Isn't that a shame? The wife's like, "I love you, dear. Now remember, Lorena, be safe."
Be safe. And you know what? Just a little thing for you. Make sure you put it on ice.
Oh my God, that's such a hard. Your wife tell you. Now remember, I ordered those knives from the network. They're on their way.
These are good knives because they're Ginsus.
So Ginsu. Remember that the Ginsu.
They get cut through cans like it's nothing. So your penis should be no problem whatsoever.
Oh my God.
And I have this baggie and I have some ice.
Oh my God, man.
Oh my God. Well, it's National Girlfriend's Day. So salute to all the women out there and all the girls.
Salute to all the women out there. We wouldn't be here without you, no matter what anybody says.
That's true. It doesn't. Yeah, that's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. We wouldn't be here. Literally, we could just end it on that.
Hey, we wouldn't be here.
we would not be here without you. You can even cut it with a tin can. He's right. Mike Lee's right. He knows the Ginsu knives commercial.
Yo, you remember those commercials? They be sitting up there. It's the Ginsu knife. It can slice through anything.
It can dice. It's the Ginsu knife. Chris says that has gone off the rail. Look, Chris says we're actually done for the night. We're done talking Giants because they mostly come at night, mostly, and it is not.
What are we really supposed to say? Just to have one more last day. At this point, let's be real. I'll sum this up real quick. We overreached that quarterback and kept the guy here when we had a chance to franchise tag him and be done with him after this year, when we should have paid our real franchise player in Saquon Barkley, because when they say the Giants versus whoever, they show a picture of Saquon Barkley, not the kid from Duke.
No.
And right now, Dabo just won Coach of the Year, so he's not getting fired, no matter if we win the rest of the game, lose the rest of the games this year, excuse me. And I don't think he should be fired. If anything, you may see a change at offensive coordinator. If it's really that bad, maybe. Even though Dabo gave us we're not changing anybody on the staff. We'll see how that goes. But what are we really supposed to say? Saquon Barkley? Are we going to sign Saquon Barkley at the end of this year? I don't see that. So Is he even going to be here? I don't know. So with no Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones here for another year, if we don't draft another quarterback and we have to, I don't know what to say. We're here. That's why I didn't want this guy to get signed. Once you commit money to players who aren't worth it, you're kind of along for the ride for a little bit.
Blah, 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 blah. Any questions? Yeah, I got one. What is it, Hicks? How do I get out? Which part was Aliens with Hicks? I know it's Hicks from Aliens.
Yeah. How do I? Which part was that, Omega? I mean, Hicks.
I know that movie. I even have the director's cut in that movie. So I have the additional 24 minutes of that film. So.
We were laughing the part where Hickson hit talking. He's like, I'm not going out there with those things. The things crawling around. You count me out, man. He's like, well, you can just count. Hicks is all smooth. He's like,
I love it. James and I were talking about it because Ripley looks at Hicks and goes, "This little girl survived 30 days without training." And Hicks looks at her and goes, "Why don't you put her in charge?"
Yo, he might be my favorite character in a horror sci-fi movie ever. I swear. Hudson, I swear, man.
That was Hudson that says, "How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?" And he said that to Apon when
before they even dropped. Yeah.
No, this was before the drop, and the lieutenant came in and told him they were going up against a xenomorph. And they didn't know what was going on, and and then Hudson said to the lieutenant, Lieutenant Gorman, how do I get out of this chicken shit outfit? And Apon goes to him, come here, look, come here.
It's like, oh, she's seen an alien. Ooh.
Hey, Vasquez, have you ever been with a man? No, have you?
Shots fired.
It could be all night here with just Aliens reference. I'm guessing you guys like Aliens over. Well, first of all, James doesn't like. James, do you want? We really do have to wrap this up. But James, do you want to tell people why you don't like the movie Alien?
Well, number one, both of them, like I told you, that's the scariest concept to me of aliens coming here. Like more than War of the Worlds, more than Independence Day, even more than Invasion of the Body Snatchers, for all you actually know that. That's a scary concept too. Invasion pod people, that's scary. But the face hugger thing, first of all, it's the little thing that's crawling around. It's going to jump on my face like a face mask I don't want. And then after the thing is done violating me, it's literally going to impregnate me. And then I'm just walking around, just waiting for dinner time. And instead, and it's going to hit me with the, and I'm black. So I'm going to die way before Tim does. I'm going to be the first guy gone on the planet. It's like the aliens, facehuggers are going to come down like, we got to get all the black people first. And all the black and Spanish people, we got to get them first.
I love it because this is a conversations I have with James. At one point in time, we were talking the other day, and I told him, I said, you know what you're like? I said, you're like Yeoman Johnson on Star Trek. We have an away team. We got Spock, we got Kirk, we got everyone else. Let's go down to the planet, Scotty. Oh, and let's take Yeoman Johnson, the black guy in the red shirt. Because we know who wasn't coming back.
It's like, wait a minute, what's that plant over there with teeth and it's moving around? Yeoman Johnson, go over there with your tricorder and get an analysis. Just Captain Kirk, he dies off screen.
And they get on the communicator. Can you send us another Yeoman Johnson, please?
It's like we need another brother. We need another Yeoman Johnson.
I'm looking at Twitter and I have 98 notifications. Evidently, I did something. I don't know what the hell I did again.
Oh God, who knows? Who knows? And Omega Aliens. 2 hours. Aliens is a classic, man. It's a classic, bro.
Yeah, we should just do a stream. I like Zagatag says that next Sunday I'm gonna do a stream about yarn, the history of yarn. We should just do a stream where we just watch aliens. Here he goes. Tim will be streaming the history of yarn on Sunday. I think one, we streamed the game once. I did the play-by-play once this season. I do it once a year, but maybe James, what we'll do is we'll stream aliens.
you know what you do is we'll stream the game for the first half, and then after we see what's going on, okay, we're done with this. Let's just put the movie on. We already know what's going to happen now.
And I love it though, because to the last point about aliens and the facesuckers, and at one point in time, I don't know if you remember, James was telling me because you were literally going off on a rant, and he goes to me, "Yeah, man, it could like really happen." Are you joking, or are you really saying the truth about this?
That movie, it's one of the few movies that, for some reason, that in my mind said, "Oh crap, that could happen." From watching that as a little kid, Alien 1. First of all, you want to know why I don't like Omega real quick? You want to know why I don't like the first one over the second one? Because the black guy dies in such a dumb way. He survives. First of all, he's like the toughest guy on the shit, no doubt. He makes it all the way to the end. They're about to get on the escape pod with Ripley. And the white girl, no disrespect to the white, but the white girl, she's about to die. And what does the black guy do? I could just run out this door and make it. No! I gotta run over here with my bare hands and jump on an acid-filled xenomorph and try to stone cold stun him to save this chick. Oh my God. That was like the start of my, we really don't survive horror movies, huh?
I loved it because when we were talking about aliens, we were talking about how Frost and Napalm got it in that two black guys. And then I really got to wrap this up. But can you just in a short frame of time explain to the 74 people that are left in the chat, and God bless you.
Yo, God bless you off of. Hey, yo, I'm sorry. We totally went left off of here. Sorry.
Can you explain to who's left in the chat why Hudson is the unofficial black man of Aliens?
Oh, Hudson, Bill Paxton's character.
Bill Paxton.
The unofficial black man, brown man, colored man of the movie. First of all, the Sergeant Pone, he's black, but he's just Sergeant black. He's Sergeant. He doesn't really count. Frost,
got taken away, and Frost got burned up.
And Frost had like one line. I can't even. He had like one line when Hicks is like, "I like to keep this for close encounters," and then Frost goes, "I heard that," and that's the last you hear of him.
It was more like, "Boy, it's rather damp in here."
So forget those brothers, but Hudson, from the moment he wakes up, he hops up out the cryo thing. He hits the floor. He's like, "Whoa, cold out here, Sarge. You can get me my slippers." It's like every line he has in there is just Like it's just like I could see I could see a brother doing that. The whole thing with the knife. He's like, yeah, Bishop, do the knife thing. I just want to see it. And then when he takes his hand, he's like, no, I don't mean me. I don't mean me, motherfucker. I don't mean me. Don't do me. You know, like when the shit starts going bad and they're showing like they're actually getting attacked by the aliens, and you just have like the camera from the helmet. He literally runs up and he's like, Sarge is gone. Let's get the fuck out of here. It's just like, yo, man, that is.
Come on, man, we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
That is the most in any movie, the most realistic take you will ever. Aliens is all around. We're getting killed. It's dark in here. The sun is gone. Let's just get the fuck out of here. And he starts taking off, and I'm just like, nah, man. His everything he says in there. Like, I'm not going outside. I'm like, send Bishop. Yeah, Bishop could go. We could just count you out. Yeah, man, count me out. Count me out of everything. I'm not going out there waiting.
That's great. That's fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yo.
Shit now, man.
I'm sorry, chat, but yo, I love that movie. I love that character, man. Everything he says is what you would say in that situation. Everybody else is just running their lines. He's the only one that's like, do y'all not see what's going on around here? I don't know if you've been tuning to CNN. We just got our asses kicked. Pow! Like, yo, man.
There we go. Omega Supreme with the line, we're on the express elevator to hell. Going down.
Going down. He's actually the man in that. I know, Hicks and Ripley, but he's the man in that movie. And Vasquez, too.
He went out like there was
no. He was the man.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Honeypot, I'm sorry, man. We've been on for 2 hours now. I'll have you on Honeypot if you're around on Sunday. I'll jump back in. I'll definitely have you on so you can rant during Sunday stream. I want to thank everyone that hung out for as long as I did. I want to thank James for coming out. And you know what? We got the New York Giants video coming out tomorrow. And as always, this is Tim. This is James. It's got to get better, guys, because you want to know what? It can only get worse. And we're out of here.
Peace.